Greetings, everyone. Great day, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you see this video. It's a fascinating question that we ask ourselves. Oftentimes we ask ourselves without actually asking. We answer the question without actually asking it. We answer it by our actions and our inactions. And what's the question? Is there something you can do? Or, more so, is there something I can do? What is it that I can do that can make things better for you, or for history, or for society? You know, oftentimes people are asking that question and they're answering it by not doing anything meaningful, because they're not doing anything meaningful to themselves. They are setting their own dreams aside because they think some other person's dreams supersede theirs. No one's dream will supersede yours unless you think they will. Unless you think they are more important, or they have more weight, or there are more numbers of people involved who are parroting the same idea. Because many of the dreams that we are parroting, that we are perpetuating, are actually of no benefit, not even to the parrots and the parroters. We are thinking of ourselves as collectives, and in many ways, and in some respects we are, but we're not seeing ourselves as an individuality, as a uniqueness, as a oneness, in terms of expression, in terms of point of view. Your point of view, my point of view is unique to me, your point of view is unique to you. Now the question is, how much of other people's points of view are we carrying around? And this is not limited to the lifetime that we think of as ours and the only one that we ever experience. How many times have we heard people say, you've only got one life, there's only one time, this is the only shot you got? And of course, they say that, or they hear it, and then act, or should I say don't act. They don't do anything different. They don't live their own dream. Where am I going with this? In terms of what I think I can do to change things for the better, for myself. Now I'll have to say, at this moment in time, I'm 72 times around the sun. This eye here is clouded up, so I can't really see the way I could see even a month or two ago. I got some other things happening physiologically speaking that I'm working on. And I have made some serious changes already. Talk about physician, heal thyself. To have a form, what we call corporeal form of physical body, makes me a physician. It makes me the one that is charged with or entrusted with taking care of this form. And from where I sit, in the time that I've been present on this planet or in this realm, however you want to call it, I've taken on, in my belief, in my trust, I've taken on many practices, many ways of thinking that are counterproductive, that are actually not beneficial to me physically, as well as, I want to say, intellectually. I heard sounds, could be my cats. So part of the thing here is learning. What is it? What am I? Who am I? And once you start getting a clue as to, and what matters, what's important, I got to add that, because from where I sit now, it seems as though anyone but me, and in your case, anyone but you, is important. Everybody else is important. We've got to walk on eggshells around different people for fear of them being offended by our presence, by our thoughts, by our actions, as it relates to them. Yours don't matter according to these conventions of thinking and of behaving and interacting. The one, and he is, or she, or it, who is quickest to get offended is apparently the one who gets to steer the conversation by offense. And that is, unless you are very much offensive, so much to be very dangerous that you wear uniforms and everything else, and then you justify using all that force and wielding and threatening all that force for what? For safety. Yours, okay? So we live in a very convoluted society which we call and think of as intelligent, and that's the problem. Many of the conventions that we have embraced and perpetuated are not intelligent. There are better approaches that we are not aware of, but we have so much invested in the ways we have thought and the actions that we have taken behind those thoughts that we don't have the humility to say, hey, is there a better way? Oh, you mean there is a better way? And actually, please forgive me for trying to push my way on you. Everyone has their own point of view, and as it turns out, everyone is unique. We live in something that has infinite possibility, infinite potential, and infinite supply with ease. Infinite supply with ease. Meaning, if you imagine something that you want and you love and you wish to make it so, you need, first of all, think of it. It does exist. You imagine it. You picture it. You visualize it. Not through here. See, these eyes don't have to work for where you're doing where the picturing is occurring. The picturing is happening in your heart. It's happening in your mind, in your information field. You could say that your mind is the information field. And each of us has our own piece of it. We have individuated pieces of mind that creates our experience. Our experiences unfold through the interworkings of our imagination, our words, our desires, and our intentions and our actions. When they are all in alignment, that light and that field, that magnetic field, gains strength. It pushes away what you don't want. It pushes what you don't want out of your field, which makes room for that which you want to come in. You create a void. You create a vacuum that has been in a space that has been vacated by all the crap that you don't want, you didn't want. Why? Why did it leave? Because you saw something, you loved something else more than what you had been familiar with. You need to create the space for that to come in, and you do it by letting it go. You let what you don't want to go. You create a void. Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's perfect out here right now. Yeah, enjoy it. Oh, there you go. Sitting out here having a good thought, getting and making space for that which I love. And I get some great thoughts from my neighbor. It's so cool. That was not scripted. So it's a fairly fascinating thing to figure out the mechanics and the dynamics that are associated with doing this thing called life on earth. Because here's the other thing, embracing the idea that you are life that perhaps is experiencing this space called earth right now, this realm, whatever way and by whatever name. But the earth isn't you, the space isn't you. You are the life that's just here for the time. When you're done for whatever reason and under whatever circumstances, you're leave. You are withdrawing, you are vacating, so to speak, energetically, your presence. And your presence is delineated by the form itself. This isn't you. Of course, this isn't you, but this isn't me. This is my form. This is the form that I use. In fact, and as I've mentioned in the last year or so, this form has changed in its, I want to say vitality, but its size, I've shrunk. The body has shrunk. And of course, I'm used to calling myself me and saying that I have done this. But ultimately, it's my form that has done this. I have directed the form to do it. I have made certain changes or come to certain places where, okay, these changes have become appropriate. But ultimately, there's more to be learned, there's more to be demonstrated. So I'm still here and I'm still working at it. But at some point in time, I will leave this particular space, this particular place. But I will still be. And that's one of the things that I invite you to consider. It takes as much energy to think that, or to speculate on whether you continue to exist or not after this form is done, or whether you go to a happy or sad place after you're gone, all the while you're living in a sad space and place while you're here. How many people are in disease? They are in debt. They are in doubt. Okay? They're in dubiousness, so to speak. If that's where you habituate now, while you have the body, have associated an association with it, when you're done with it, especially if you're not clear on the nature of who you are, your life, because, I'll say this, your life will simply be, your experience will be likened to that even afterwards. Why do I say that? I say it because of one, consciousness, and also vibrational resonance, frequencies. The tone of your consciousness, the light that is generated thereby, will stay with you after, as well as after you leave here. If that was dominant, if you've done no searching on your own, if you've done no outreach of your own, if you've done no imagining of your own as to a continuum of life, then you're going to likely have much more of what you were used to, what you were accustomed to. And what were you accustomed to? Being fearful, being vulnerable, thinking someone, being distrusting, so to speak. If those terms tend to describe how you tend to be, and I say distrusting, it's not so much of being distrustful of others. They become your ways of projection of the reason for not trusting. The big one is distrusting yourself. If you're not distrusting, if you're distrusting yourself, I mean, who are you going to blame? Who can you blame? So I feel inclined to say some of these thoughts, record them, because when I first came to this planet, so to speak, I had no past life memories. I had no memories. I entered this realm in what's referred to as 1951. I have no memories of any experiences before that time, which oftentimes perplexed me as a kid. Gee, where was I? What was I? I have no recollection. I have no idea of anything before that time. Now, when I would go to sleep at night, I would certainly have memories. I'd have what they call dreams. But somewhere along the line, we've got the American dream. We got dreams all over the place. But at some point in time, it occurred to me that, wait a minute. Nightmares are dreams too. When I realized that nightmares are dreams, then it turned out to me that everything is a dream. Everything that we experience is something we've dreamed up, something we are in resonance with. And it doesn't have to be nice and sweet and lovely. Yeah, I'm here and sexy and whatever. It is whatever it is. It is whatever. And it's not so much that we imagined it. We imaged it. It became real in the imaging, because that is the creative process. It starts with the consciousness that does the imaging. Unless someone else is in resonance with that image, no one else is going to see it. And unless they are, who they are and connected in some kind of way. We are all connected, but we don't all know of our connection, and we're not living in the conscious knowledge of that connection and connectivity to everything. That's why we have this concept of ownership. We don't own crap. We don't and can't own, in the sense and the way we think of it, anything. No one can own you, and you can't own anything else. We're all creating our experiences from something within us and people that are in resonance with that. Something within us and people that are in resonance with us too, and we with them. So resonance is what really determines these things, as well as imaging, or as some would say, imagining. We can change things by imagining differently, imagining more wonderfully, imaging more wonderfully the things that we actually want, realizing. And I'm saying things not in the sense of objects necessarily. It's not limited to objects. It includes qualities of experiences that you just smile, just like this moment right now. So whether I said what I was going to say, I guess I've said it, because I'm done for now. I invite you to think and to feel your uniqueness, your infiniteness, the infinite nature of everything that you are a part of. And when you start to realize that it is infinite, it's like no two moments are the same. We have the power to create new moments right now and right here. But we have to make space for them. And you do so by pushing out the things that you no longer want. You send them back to, you could say, the source. Send them back to the void, where they can be reconstituted into experiences that'll make you smile. Okay? I think that's my cue to thank you so much, to wish you well, wish you peace, prosperity, health, and above all, I love you all.